Hey there, future fellow weirdo of the flock. How are you? Haha. Welcome to the most offensive church of the universe, the Porty Pin. Yay! Haha. What we do here in this most amazing place, we read this great ass book. It's called God Said because he did not fucking say that. But we are going to find out what he did say. Yeah. So, this is God's unofficial biography, Das Bible, as read by yours truly, the Saint of Awesome, your Superstone Sage.
Saint Nikki K the Great. Ha ha. Clap for me, I clap for you. Yay! Welcome. Ha ha. Now, if you are on if you are on Replay Crew, go down there to the settings and hit 2 times speed because it's way better. So, if you're on Replay Crew, go down there and press 2 times speed. Yeah. Now, we're doing something which I don't want to do, but honestly, my ass does not need to be in the New Testament because I'm way too offensive and I like people. So I don't want to step on toes. The New Testament's not my business. My business is the Old Testament. But I'm still continuing with the story of Jesus. But as for going farther than that, no. Because too many people I like are reading that same exact book. And I'm not a fan of stepping on toes. I am a fan of offending people, but not the people I like for no real reason. So there's that. But what we are going to do is we are going to go into the book of Samuel and we are going to read the story of the prophet Samuel. And the next, what will be the story of Samuel, Saul, and David. And we're going to read all three of those stories. And it's going to be amazing. And we're going to find out about we're going to find out so many things about God in this story. We are going to find so many things out about God in this story. And it is going to be amazing. So, come along. If you also love the story of David and want to hear all about God, come on in this way. I have everything you need. I have cigarettes. I have cannabis. I have coffee. I have chair with your name on it. I have cat beds and canine space. Bring your animals because I love them. Yes. Yes. Go ahead and do that. Bring your animals. Okay. And we are going to get started on the book of Samuel. So let's see if we have anybody we got to say hi to real fast before we get to reading and I shut all my chats off. Zilla, my beautiful, there you are. How are you, Zilla? Are you ready to hear the story of David? General Sammy. Are you ready to hear the story? Well, okay. It's not the story of David yet. It's actually the story of Samuel, which is going to be amazing. But I just wanted to say hi to everybody real quick before we go ahead and wait. Oh yeah, before we go ahead and get to reading, I wanted to say hi to everybody. Um Now what is going to happen is I'm going to read this first chapter and then I'm going to go back in and check on the chats. I am trying to do this the right way because reasons. There's reasons I do things, I just don't know what they are. Okay. Now, there was a certain man of Ramathathayim Zoyaphim, whatever the fuck those words are, of the mountains of Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah. And he was an Ephraimite, and he had two wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the other Peninnah. We can just call her Pennywise because I don't know how to say this. Now, Pennywise had children, but Hannah had none. This man. This man went from his city every year to worship and sacrifice to the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. Okay, when did that become a thing? Never mind, we're not there. Would you shut the fuck up because you're not going to know this stuff because you're starting in the middle of a story because you think you're fucking cute. Shut up. Read the book, Nikki. I'm reading the book. No, you're not. Yes, I am. I'm reading the book. Then fucking read it then. I'm reading it. I'm reading the book. Okay. So, this man went up from his city to worship and sacrifice to the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. Also, the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, not Ferb, the priests of the Lord, were there. And whenever the time came for Elkanah to make an offering, he would give portions to Pennywise, his wife, and to all her sons and daughters. But to Hannah, he would give double portion, for he loved Hannah. Although the Lord had closed her womb, and her rival also provoked her severely to make her miserable. See, this kind of thing I highly doubt, though, for real. Like, is that really a thing that people do? Do people really get jealous? Like, you don't have any kids, you fucking suck. Is that a real thing, or is that just an insecure person thing? Like, she thinks that. Kind of like Sarah did with Hagar. You know, she just thought Hagar was going all sorts of wild on her, even though she wasn't. So me personally, I believe this kind of a insecure thing. This is not really happening. This is happening in her head because she wants a baby so bad. Which I will never understand why you need to have a baby that bad. They grow up and become assholes. I wouldn't take my kids back, but they are all assholes. So it was year by year when she went up to the house of the Lord that she provoked her there. Oh, so the woman would provoke Hannah, and then she wept and would not eat because that's the thing that happens for some reason. Okay. Then Elkanah, her husband, said, "What's wrong now?" Literally, we are in front of people. What is wrong? Am I not better to you than 10 sons? I mean, you literally clean up after me. I am messier than anybody you can ever meet, ever. Why the hell do you want a baby to make double the work for you? I mean, he's not lying. Because I'm telling you what, Dustin is messier than all my kids put together. Well, that's not true. Because my kids hide their messes in their bedroom and then they bring out all their mess like 3 weeks later. And then it's like, oh yeah, you guys suck. Yeah, my dishes, all of them, they're gone. Then Hannah arose after they had finished eating and drinking at Shiloh. Now, Eli the priest was sitting on the seat by the doorposts of the church, and she was in bitterness of soul and prayed to the Lord and wept in anguish. Then she made a vow and said, "O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your maidservant and remember me, and do not forget me, but give me a male child, and I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and no razor shall come upon his head." Now, the other day when I deleted the live stream I did with my mom, but she'll bring it back up because she always does. She said the Apostle Paul was a Nazarite when clearly he was not a Nazarite. But she's praying right now for Samuel to be, for Samuel to become a Nazarite. She's just going to give him to the church. She's like, I'm going to have this baby. God's going to give me this baby. And then, Eli, you're going to raise this baby. It'll be good time. And it happened. As she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli watched her mouth. Now Hannah spoke in her heart. Only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she was drunk. And then Eli said to her, "Stop drinking, woman. What, are you looking crazy? What are you even doing?" But Hannah said, No, 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 no. I am sorrowful. I haven't drunk anything, but I have poured my soul before the Lord. But do not consider your maidservant a wicked woman. For out of the abundance of my complaint and grief, I have spoken until now. Then Eli said, Okay, yeah, may God grant your petition and stuff. Words and things. And she said, Let your maidservant find favor in your sight. So the woman went her way and ate, and her face was no longer sad. Dun dun dun. No longer sad. So then they rose early in the morning, worshiped before the Lord, and returned and came to their house at Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife. And it came to pass in the process of time that Hannah conceived and bore a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, because I have asked for him from the Lord. Now the man Elkanah and his house went up to offer the Lord at the yearly sacrifice, and his vow. But Hannah did not go up, for she said, not until the child is weaned, then I will take him, that he may appear before the Lord and remain there forever. And then Elkanah's like, what is my wife going to do to my child? No, I'm kidding. Elkanah said, whatever you want to do, whatever. Only let the Lord establish his word. Then the woman stayed and nursed her son until she had weaned him. Now, when she had weaned him, she took him up with her with three bulls, an ephah of flour, a skin of wine, and brought him to the house of the Lord in Shiloh. And the child was young. Then they slaughtered a bull and brought the child to Eli. And she said, oh, my Lord, as your soul lives, I am the woman that you called drunk. And then the Lord has granted me my petition, this son that I'm going to leave here with you. Oh, no, that's not what she said. She said, therefore, I also have lent him to the Lord. As long as he lives, he shall be lent to the Lord. So they worship the Lord there. Okay, that's the end of chapter 1. So, yay, I'm so glad that you're here, Zilla. General Piggy, are you still here? Okay. Zilla, are you still here? Because I want to smoke this cigarette real quick. So somebody talk to me real quick. We'll do it this way. Oh, it's ready. Zilla, I love it when you spend time with me. And I miss you. Oh, did you see that? Mm, mm, mm. You know what we can do? I never get anything done if I answer you. That is true. Go get your stuff done. I just like knowing you're here. I'm selfish like that. Okay. We'll do this one, this one, this one. This one. There you go. I'm gonna read. I'm reading right now. Okay. Okay. So they worshiped the Lord there. That was the end of chapter 1. And Hannah prayed and said, here we go. My heart rejoices in the Lord. My horn is exalted in the Lord. I smile at my enemies because I rejoice in your salvation. No one is holy like the Lord, for there is none besides you, nor is there any rock like our God. Talk no more so very proudly. Let no arrogance come from your mouth, for the Lord is the God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. The bows of the mighty men are broken, and those who stumbled are girded with strength, strong diapers. Those who were full have what? Those who were full have hired themselves out for bread, and the hungry have ceased to hunger. Even the barren has borne 7, and she who has many children has become feeble. Dun, dun, dun. The Lord kills and makes alive. He brings down to the grave and brings up. The Lord makes poor and makes rich. He brings low and lifts up. He raises the poor from the dust. He lifts the beggar from the ash heap to set him among princes and make him inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them. He will guard the feet of his saints. Where did those even come from? No one knows. But the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength no man shall prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken in pieces. From heaven he will thunder against them. The Lord will judge the ends of the earth. He will give strength to his king and exalt the horn of the anointed. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that we're not done there. Oh my God, this is so long. This is so long for no reason. Then Elkanah went to his house at Ramah, but the child ministered to the Lord before Eli the priest. Now, the sons of Eli were corrupt. They did not know the Lord and the priest's custom with the people. So they would just rob the people. They would just give them like the little less bit, and they would take all the good stuff, and then they would take bribes. Um, wait. Oh, okay. Yeah. Look, here's the other thing that they did. I'm gonna read you the whole thing because it's a very specific thing, and I don't know how to change the words. So now the sons of Eli were corrupt. They did not know the Lord. And the priest's custom with the people was that when any man offered a sacrifice, the priest's servant would come with a three-pronged flesh hook in his hand while the meat was boiling. Then he would thrust it into a pan, kettle, or cauldron, maybe even a pot. And the priest would take for himself all that the fish hook brought up. So they did in Shiloh to all these terrible ass people who came there. Also, before they burned the fat, the priest's servant would come and say to the man who sacrificed, "Give meat for roasting to the priest, for he will not take boiled meat from you, but raw, because he wants to choose what to do with it. We don't want that boiled ass tough meat. No, we're going to grill us some lamb." And if the man said to him, "They should really burn the fat first, then you may take as much as your heart desires," he would then answer him, "No, give it now, and if not, I will take it by force." See, so they were just forcing people to give them what they wanted. And these were the priest's sons. Therefore, the sin of the young men was very great before the Lord. For men offered the offerings of the Lord. But Samuel ministered before the Lord, even as a child, wearing a little linen ephod. Moreover, his mother used to make him a little robe and bring it to him year by year when she came up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. And Eli would bless Elkanah and his wife and say, "The Lord give you descendants from this woman for the loan that was given to the Lord." Then they would go their way to their own house. Dun, dun, dun. And the Lord visited Hannah, so she conceived and bore 3 more sons and 2 daughters. Meanwhile, the child Samuel grew before the Lord. I wonder what would happen if you're like, "Hey, Robert, welcome. I know you're not staying, but welcome. Everything is fine and dandy, and I hope you are great." Okay. child Samuel grew. Now Eli okay. Now Eli was very old, and he heard everything his sons did to these terrible ass people, and how they lay with the women who assembled at the door of the meeting house. So he said to them, why? Why do you guys keep doing all this evil shit? Look, it is not good that I hear all this bad stuff from the people. Like, you're making people transgress. And if one man sins against another, God will judge him. But if a man sins against the Lord, who will intercede for him? Nevertheless, they did not heed the voice of their father, because the Lord desired to kill them. Dun, dun, dun. And the child Samuel grew in stature and favor both with the Lord and men. Then a man of God came to Eli and said,
Ha ha! Yeah, I said so. Uh, Thus says a me, God and God voice. Did I not clearly reveal myself to the house of your father when they were in Egypt, in Pharaoh's house? Did I not choose him of all the tribes of Israel to be my priest, to offer on my altar, to burn incense, to wear an ephod? Did I not give to the house of your father all the offsprings of these terrible ass people? All the offerings by these terrible people made by fire. Why do you kick my sacrifice and my offering, which I have commanded in my dwelling place, and honor your sons more than me, to make yourselves fat with the best of all the offerings of Israel? Therefore, I'm telling you, indeed, your house and the house of your father would walk before me forever. But now, far be it from me, for those who honor me, I will honor, and those who despise me shall be lightly esteemed. Dun, dun, dun. Behold, the days are coming that I will cut off your arm and the arm of your father's house, so there will not be an old man in your house, and you will see an enemy in my dwelling place, despite the good which God does for these people. And there shall not be an old man in your house ever, but any of your men whom I do not cut off from my altar. But any of your men whom I don't cut off shall consume your eyes, grieve your heart, and all the descendants of your house will all die in the flower of their age. Dun, dun, dun. Now, this shall be a sign to you that will come upon your two sons, Hophni and Phinehas without the furb. And one day they will die, both of them. Then I will raise up for myself a faithful priest who shall do according to what is in my heart. Who shall do according to what's in my heart and on my mind. I will build him a sure house, and he will walk before my anointed forever. And it shall come to pass that everyone who is left in your house will come and do the face thing. Do the face thing to him for a piece of silver and some bread, and say, please put me in one of those priestly positions that I may eat a piece of bread. I need one of those priestly positions. That's crazy.
Okay, so that's the end of chapter 2. Oh, we're only at a couple minutes. Yay. Okay. Well, it's a lot more than a couple minutes. There it is. See, I knew I had one. Okay, so we're going to go on to chapter 3 in just a second. Okay. Damn. Now, the boy Samuel ministered to the Lord before Eli, and the Lord, and the word of the Lord was rare in those days. There was no widespread revelation. And it came to pass at that time. I remember this one. Okay. So Sam and Eli were laying down. And God starts fucking around and talking to Samuel.
Sam, I know you're asleep, but I just want to see you real quick. Sam!
So Sam gets up because he thinks it's Eli. So he goes into Eli's room and is like, what do you want? And Eli's like, I didn't want nothing from you. So Samuel's like, the fuck, yo, okay. So Sam goes back in there to lay down. And God again and is like,
Sam! Coochie coochie coo! Sam! You pretty little motherfucker. Sam! Get up!
so Sam got up and went back to Eli and was like, what do you want? And Eli's like, I don't want nothing. So it happens a third time. So Sam gets up out of his bed and is like, Eli, why do you keep messing with me? And then Eli's like, no, it's definitely not me. Maybe it's God. How about next time? Just ask God what he wants. Hold on. Okay. He said, yeah, ask him what you could do. So now the Lord came and stood and called Sam like before.
Sam, I know you're ignoring me because you think I'm Eli, but I'm not. I need to talk to you like immediately. Oh, yeah.
So then Sam's like, what do you want, God? And God, being flabbergasted, he said, okay.
Okay. Okay, now that you pulled my leg. Uh, wait, was that you're pulling my leg? No, that's joking. You're beating it out of me. That's how you say that. You're beating it out of me. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to do something, right? At which both ears of everyone who hears it will tingle. And that day I will perform against Eli all that I have spoken concerning his house, from beginning to end. For I have told him that I will judge his house forever for the iniquity which he knows, because his sons made themselves vile, and he did not restrain them. And therefore I have sworn that the iniquity of Eli's house shall not be atoned for by sacrifice or offering forever. Dun, dun, dun.
So Samuel lay down until morning and opened the doors of the house of the Lord. And Samuel was afraid to tell Eli what God said. But oh, it's bedtime. Um, okay. So Samuel didn't want to tell Eli what happened. But Eli, obviously knowing what happened, wants to know what God said to Samuel because that's his business. And then Eli was like, okay, what God say to you? You have to tell me everything. I have to know what he said. Then Samuel told him everything and hid nothing from him. And then Eli was like, well, okay, fine. Huh. I guess it's okay. So Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and let none of his words fall to the ground. And all these terrible ass people, from Dan to Beersheba, knew that Samuel had been established as a prophet. Then Then the Lord appeared again in Shiloh. The Lord appeared again in Shiloh to Samuel. Samuel had been established as a prophet. And then the Lord appeared to him again at Shiloh. And then, yeah. And then that ends that and goes into chapter 4. So, do we want a chapter 4? Do we want to go to chapter 4 or no? Swing on a spiral to dun, 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 dun. You know, I can't get nothing done when you guys don't answer me. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know. But I am gonna smoke a real cigarette because these half cigarettes just ain't doing it. Swing on a spiral. Hey Zilla, are you still here? No, he probably went to sleep. Damn it, Zilla, everybody going to sleep. Swing on a spiral to. Okay, fuck it. I'm just going to chapter 4. I don't even give a shit. Who don't care? Okay. Now the word of Samuel came to all these terrible ass people. Now, these terrible ass people went to battle against the Philistines. Ooh, yeah. Okay. This this is a story that is actually going to take some concentration. I don't know. I don't know what kind of concentration I have right now. Okay. Now, Israel went out to battle against the Philistines and encamped beside Ebenezer. And the Philistines encamped at Ephek. Then the Philistines put themselves in battle array against Israel, these terrible ass people. And when they had joined the battle, Israel was defeated by the Philistines, who had killed about 4,000 men. 4,000 men. And when the people had come into the camp, the elders of these terrible ass people said, "Why has the Lord defeated us today? Let us bring, God's suitcase chair." Yeah. They want to bring God's suitcase chair because that might help them win the war. Damn it. Okay. So bring God's suitcase chair from Shiloh to us. Bring it. So the people went to Shiloh to bring God's suitcase chair. What? Did I missed something. the Lord defeated us today before the Philistines. Let us bring the Ark of the Covenant, God's suitcase chair, from Shiloh to us, that when it comes among us, it may save us from the hand of our enemies. So the people sent to Shiloh, that they might bring from there God's suitcase chair. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with God's suitcase chair. And when God's suitcase chair came into the camp, all these terrible ass people shouted so loudly that the earth shook. No, the earth shook. Now, when the Philistines heard the noise of these people, they said, "What does this mean? What is this?" Okay. Why are they calling them Hebrews? I literally, they just called themselves the Israelites a second ago. But for some reason, the Philistines are calling them Hebrews. Something is happening here. Then they understood that God's suitcase chair had come into the camp. How did they know that? They didn't know that. How did they know that? They didn't know that. So the Philistines were afraid, for they said, "God has come to the camp." And they said to themselves, "Woe to us, for such a thing has never happened before. Woe to us! Who will deliver us from the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods who struck the Egyptians." How do they know that? I don't think they knew any of that. Because how would they know that? They wouldn't even know that. Hi, Chris. Hold on, I'm coming to see you right now. Because I am doing stuff. I don't remember what I'm doing. But it's stuff and things. I forgot that I wasn't doing night streams anymore. I forgot that I said that was a thing. But I have been making night videos since I started making videos. They've always been at night. But I'm just going to have to learn to go to bed directly after I end this so I can get up in time in the morning to do Psalms and Proverbs. And I have decided I'm never reading the New Testament again. That's what I decided all by myself. Okay. So now they're saying that they figured out that God's suitcase chair has been brought into the camp. And now they're saying, "Oh, these are the many gods that destroyed Egypt." Yep, because they know that. They don't know that. Because if they were really afraid of the God of the Jews, they wouldn't have even been fucking with the Jews in the first place. I don't think any of this is even a thing. But it makes for a good story. You did get an electrified hamburger? We're all gonna eat electric hamburgers, and then we're getting hungry. We're all gonna eat electric hamburgers because we're all hungry. Oh no. Man, I'm the best ever. You guys are so lucky to have me as a sage. I know so many great things. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm done with life. Okay. So, so pretty much the Philistines are feeling super sorry for themselves, right? But then they were told, be strong, conduct yourselves like men, you Philistines, that you do not become the servants of the Hebrews. They were Israelites a minute ago, but now they're Hebrews. Does Hebrew mean mutt? I think Hebrew means mutt. So the Philistine, um, as they have been, do not become Slaves like the Hebrews are your Slaves. Act like men and fight. So the Philistines fought, and Israel was defeated, and every man fled to his tent. And there was a very great slaughter. And there fell of Israel 30,000 foot soldiers. Also, God's suitcase chair was captured, and Eli's sons died. Ooh, here we go. Then a man of Benjamin ran from the battle line the same day and came to Shiloh. When, he was naked with dirt on his head. Now, when he came, there was Eli sitting on a seat by the wayside watching, for his heart troubled for the ark of God. And when the man came to the city and told it, all the city cried. And when Eli heard the noise, he was like, sup. And then the man came quickly and told Eli. Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were so dim that he could not see. When the man said to Eli, I am he who came from the battle, and I fled today from the battle line. And Eli was like, what happened? So the messenger answered and said that these terrible ass people fled for the Philistines, and there was a great slaughter, and Hophni and Phinehas dead, and the ark has been captured. Then it happened when he made mention of the God's suitcase chair that Eli fell off his seat backward and broke his neck. He was very large and very fat, and he judged Israel for 40 years. Now, his daughter in law, I think it's Phineas's wife, had a baby. And she heard the ark was captured, and her father in law and her husband and her brother in law were dead. And she bowed herself and gave birth, for her labor pains came upon her. And about the time of her death, the woman who stood by her said, "Do not fear, you have a son." But she did not answer nor regard it. Then she named the child Ichabod, saying, "I am so depressed, so I'm going to name my son Depression," which is a theme throughout this book. Depressed women have babies and name their children depressing emotional things. Yeah. So that's what happened. Wait. Oh, yeah. We're over an hour. We're all gonna eat electric hamburgers. Okay. Yeah. We'll start chapter 5 tomorrow. Chapter 5's not that long, but maybe we'll be able to get 3 chapters done tomorrow too. 4 chapters. Where did my bookmark go? Oh no, that is super stupid. We're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. Okay, are you done working long enough to say goodnight, General Piggy? Wait, something's happening. Dun, 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 dun. Man. I'll just keep posting these naughty stickers until someone answers me. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. See, one of these days, I'm going to get a chat that appreciates me. No, I'm just fucking around. But I do want to know what everybody's doing, because if nobody's doing anything, I am going to go to bed so I can be up early enough in the morning to do Psalms and Proverbs. Because I also have therapy tomorrow. Yay. I think I get new medication tomorrow. Yay. More pills. I didn't even take my medicine. Man, that's the whole point of my dad calling me at night is to make sure I take my medicine. And then I forget to take my medicine. That's no bueno. Oh, I think that means I don't even know what that means. I just shove random things as bookmarks. That's what I did. I just used part of a napkin as a bookmark. All right. I love you, Chris. Oh, I love you, Chris. Good night. Enjoy your electric hamburger. We're all gonna eat electric hamburgers. Okay. Well, if that's where everybody's at, I don't know. That's where I'm at. I need to go to bed. Okay. Damn. Oh, these pills taste like ass. Oh, they're really bad. But anyway, that's only two of them. I still got six more. Oh, man. Anyway, anyway, I want to tell everybody thank you for watching. I love you. It's time to give the pillows some head. Put some lipstick on. Put a ring on it. Get all over your face. And then give your bed linen the best ass ever. Then have a postcoital cigarette. Smoke a bowl. And then have the sweetest dreams ever. I love you guys so much. Good night.